Hello! Hi everyone, welcome to this week's live chat with your host, me, Flower Nicole. I want to give everybody a little bit of time to get into the room, and we'll give everyone like a minute or two since I kind of got on a minute early. I was so excited and I didn't want to wait anymore. Have lots of exciting things planned for today's chat, including we're going to do a mini tap session on guilt. Since the flower essence this week was pine, or is pine, and that's the flower that's for guilt, which actually, let me show you my little handy dandy practitioner set here. We have pine. So pine is the flower of the week. Perfect. So just giving everyone some time to come into the room, and we'll start the chat here in a second. I also have a special guest today, and that is my husband. He's a silly guy. What are we calling you on this show? Are you Bobby, or are you
Loya?
Cubano Leche?
Cubano Leche, always.
His Facebook name is temporarily, hopefully, Cubano Leche. So, yeah, he's either Bobby today or Cubano Leche. He has multiple names. So, looks like we have a couple people watching. So, welcome and hello to everyone watching in the future. Also, it's like, ooh, a little Back to the Future type of thing, right? So let's have Bobby / Cubano Leche come on down.
Cubano Leche.
Yes.
Cubano Leche.
Hi Zoe. Hi everyone watching. Please say where you're from and just say hi, just so we can kind of see how far our video is reaching. So hello.
Hello.
This is my second live chat, and this is the first.
I have to explain where Cubano Leche came from because, listen everyone. Alright, I'm half Irish and like half Cuban. I was working some crazy gig one day and everyone was like, you know what? You would love this drink called a Cubano con Leche. Is that what it was? Is that what the drink's called?
Are you talking about the White Russian?
No, she said it was a Hispanic or a Cuban drink and it's Cubano con Leche.
I'm half Cuban too, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Whatever. They said this drink and I was like, holy crap. That is my fight name. That is what I'm going with. So it's been my dream to fight Canelo Alvarez, even though I don't box professionally or even amateur, in the amateur world. But then I was like, that's the selling thing right there. It's Cubano Leche versus Canelo Alvarez. Leche versus cinnamon. That's like $1 million fight.
All right. Yes. Can you tell he's into boxing and
but that's where Cubano
MMA.
Leche comes from, just so everyone knows.
There you go. And that might be his name moving forward, might not. He's not quite sure yet. He's trying to decide. If you have any input on that, feel free to post it here in the comments.
Who wouldn't love that? That's such a cool name.
So today we're here to talk about guilt. Okay?
Yeah, guilt.
We are all guilty of feeling guilt, right? Where in your life have you felt guilt? Like, what, if you'd like to share in the comments, I'd love to hear. I mean, we would love to hear if you felt guilt, or if you're currently feeling guilt, or what's coming up for you. And what about you? Where have you felt guilt, or do you feel like you're feeling guilt right now about something?
Well, I know like the immediate last time I felt guilt was probably the last time I ate Burger King. Just because I know how bad it is.
So is it...
So it was like a physical guilt. I don't know what it was. No, it was a guilty pleasure that turns into then like a, oh crap, what the hell did I just eat?
Yeah, so
now
like...
I'm feeling guilty that I just ate this crap because I knew I shouldn't eat it. Now I need to go run like 4 miles to feel better.
So you're like guilty in regards to, like, you feel like you've caused yourself harm, or you feel like someone's gonna reprimand you?
More like the I know better. Oh shoot, I
Yeah.
feel guilty. I just caused my body some stress probably, and you know, to like actually detox that food out.
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly done the same thing too, because I mean, when you're raised on the standard American diet, which I was, you know, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, almost every night, even CC's Pizza every Friday night, Saturday night, when you are transitioning to a more healthier lifestyle, especially in your adulthood, you kind of still have those desires to eat those foods, just because they're correlated to emotional, I feel like they're connected to like an emotional like high. So for example, like I might like pizza because I remember my mom used to take me to eat pizza after my ballet classes, and so I was like exhausted and I was happy from my class and I could stuff my face with all you can eat pizza. So I mean, do you feel like you do that with your food? Like, do you feel like you're eating because it tastes good, or is it because there's something like emotional connected to it, like a happiness?
Maybe both, because it does taste good.
Oh, it does?
It's like I guess a fake tastes good. I don't know.
It's a fake taste good?
Like it's like yeah, it's like a fake food, but they make it taste really good. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how they make it. Do they just spray like cans of taste good all over it and then make it taste really good? I don't know.
Cans of taste good?
Yeah, like whatever it is, it tastes like magical, and then you feel crazy afterwards.
I think it's chemicals.
Yeah.
You're getting high on some food chemicals. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a more deep, guilty feeling I've had.
Okay, so I have a really deep guilt that I'd like to share with you guys, and yeah, see, Zoe says almost always emotional. Yeah.
Food?
Eating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, connection.
That's Coke. Coca-Cola's an emotional
Yeah, you
thing.
gotta say Coca-Cola, because
yeah,
when you say
not
Coke, not
I don't
cocaine.
have a Coke addiction, okay?
He has a Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola former addict, but not now.
No. Right. You don't
Anymore.
you don't title yourself as that.
Mm-hmm.
You just say that you have a tendency to
like severely overdo it whenever I get the chance.
And by the way, we're drinking water here in our wine glasses. We're in a lovely winery here in Temecula, and I'm just so lucky that we can be outside. Vanna White over here. And so I'm happy that you guys can join us here. If you just joined us today, we are going to be tapping on guilt a little bit later in the show, and we're just talking about where in your life do you feel guilty. And Bobby was saying that his primary guilt comes from eating naughty food and then feeling guilty afterwards, knowing that you should have done better. Personally, one of the guilts that I've felt in the past, and I'm grateful to say that I've released this block, is putting my dogs to sleep. And that's something that really came up heavily for one of my dogs. His name is Lucky. And the reason it came up heavily for him was because I put him to sleep, but he wasn't sick. I put him to sleep because he was a very aggressive dog, and
super aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive. And my mom, being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, she didn't have very good balance during this time when we had Lucky, and he would pull her and she would fall, and so he was becoming a threat.
He would like attack people at the apartment and other dogs.
Yeah, and so now that I know the reasons behind those personality traits that he was having, or emotional imbalances that he was having, because I do also help animals with flower essences, I started feeling guilty about him. I felt guilty, like, oh my God, why didn't I know about flower essences back then? Why didn't I realize that it was just an emotional issue that he was having, that he needed more training and that he needed more support? Why did I give up on him like that? And so that came up heavily probably, a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
So Pine was my best friend, and I did end up having to take a lot of Pine for probably about a month to be able to start releasing that energetic block of guilt for putting him to sleep.
And actually I had that for Reboot, our other dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our other dog ended up having a seizure and
A stroke.
A
She had
stroke.
Yeah.
Well, she was having a seizure, I think.
That led to a stroke.
Or something like that.
It became a stroke because she
Yeah.
became paralyzed from the back down.
Yeah, and so especially with our animals, after you put them to sleep, or something happens, you tend to start playing in your mind, like, you know,
Could have done this. What if I did that? What if I did this?
Yeah, why didn't I do this? Oh my gosh, I didn't do the best that I could do, and you start feeling guilty. And so for you watching out there, are there any other inputs? Like, is there anywhere that you're feeling guilty in your life? If you can,
who's watching?
a couple people. See, Ooh, there's a button right there. That thing.
What is that? Oh,
And so Zoe's writing, so she's right there.
gotcha.
Yeah. And I keep like doing this because I am sweating. It is hot out here in Temecula. The weather was 110 today.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's hot. So if we like pause, we're definitely having like a heat brain
It's like
fart.
a flashback to Vegas weather, and I don't like it.
You're like, and I don't like it. So yeah, so that's pine and that's guilt. And every week we're gonna bring you a flower essence and bring you a mini tapping session on these live shows to help you to start releasing those energetic blockages that we have. And Zoe says we're funny. Thanks.
Thank you.
We watched a movie last night and we figured we could just share that with you.
Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Who was seeing Phenomenon? I wish more people were on this thing so we could talk about Phenomenon with John Travolta.
They will be.
Because I didn't appreciate it when I was younger.
No, I did not like
And
the
I'm like,
movie
I don't
Phenomenon.
really like John Travolta that much. I mean, he's cool, John. You're awesome.
I mean, when did that
but,
movie come out?
Like, I don't know, 1997?
We need to have a computer.
96, 97, something like that.
If you guys know
96,
when
97,
Phenomenon
98.
came out, please let us know.
96, 97, 98, 99, somewhere in there.
2000, 2001, 2002,
yeah.
2003.
But I thought it was a comet always that hit him, and it was like a...
I thought it was aliens. Which it partially could be. We're gonna spoil alert this movie for you if you haven't seen it. Sorry, it's been, what, 20 years it's been out, probably, so...
Yeah, but now, on the journey that you've been in, it's like you can like understand a little more what potentially happened to him.
Yeah, he definitely talks more, like, I had no idea what the movie was about, but he talks about energy. And he talks about...
Like the partnership between him and the
yeah, so
pencil, like the energy of the plastic.
What is that called when you can move stuff?
Telekinesis?
Yeah, so he becomes telekinetic.
Yeah.
Yeah? Really?
I think that's the right way to say it.
High
He
five
becomes
to myself.
telekinetic.
Okay, yes.
But he's like moving the pencil and he's and everyone's like, oh. And then he starts doing it more and more and more. And then he's like, they're not understanding what it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's the partnership of energy, like my energy and the energy of the wood or the
Of the
plastic
pencil,
or
yeah.
whatever it is. Since we're all made up of the energy and it's all vibrating and moving. And
Right.
it's just like we like become in sync. And that's how he becomes telekinetic and he starts moving stuff around.
Right. And it's
like
really
now-
nice. It was nice to hear that coming from him and in general coming from anyone, because a lot of people think that if you were to have powers like that to be able to move things, it's like, I'm in control, look at me, look what I can do, and you start magnetoing things around the room or whatever. But yeah, but in reality he made it so much more just humble, I guess, by saying that it's a partnership. You know, I'm asking the pencil to move, and this is literally what he says in the movie. I'm asking the pencil to move, and it creates a partnership with me, and it moves. So that was really interesting to see in a movie from like 20 years ago.
I just want his brain in that movie.
You what?
I want his brain in that movie.
Well, because
Does he like learn a friggin' language in
like 20
10
seconds.
minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, reading stuff and doing all those things, you can.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had that power where I could just like touch a book and absorb all the knowledge, right?
And then the quote. What is the quote that he said in that?
Oh, everything is going.
Everything and anything.
Is
We should have learned the quote. Everything and
We
something
just said it like
is
10
going
minutes ago.
somewhere.
See, but we're online now.
Everything
so
and
it's like
anything
pressure.
is going somewhere.
Wait, what?
Everything and something is going somewhere.
Everything and something is going somewhere.
Or maybe everything is always going somewhere.
Yeah, and then what does that mean? What did that quote mean to you?
I don't know. I'm still pondering it.
I think what it meant to
And
me
a real
is that
brain buster.
I think what it meant to me was that we are always in motion, right? Even if we're still, like our cells are moving, right? And everything, even though it's solid, it is vibrating energy. Because Albert Einstein proved it when he made the atomic bomb.
I like that. I'm going to go with that.
Okay, sounds good. So, I think it's time to start tapping on guilt. That was like a little sidebar of funness with movies. Are you ready to tap? Do you want to join in? No.
Tap on my Burger King? I'm not ready to tap that out yet.
Okay, it's up to you. It's your choice. No
I can do
tapping?
it. I love and accept myself
Oh,
for eating
brother.
Burger
Okay.
King.
So what we want to do is, before we start, is if you have your pine, I recommend taking 4 drops right now underneath your tongue. So would you like some?
Sure.
Right, here you go. I could put it in your mouth like, there you go. Cool. And then perfect. And just let it get into all your taste buds and your mouth, and then I'm gonna put it away because actually no, I'm
You
not.
should be on the show next time.
Yes, if you'd like to come on the show, please write your messages below. All right, so we're gonna start tapping on guilt. I'm just letting the flower essences set in. I'm giving myself a couple of minutes.
Do I want to tap out Burger
Well,
King?
while you're thinking about Burger King, let's talk about the locations of pine. So there is a book that I do want to share with you called Bach Flower Body Maps, and it's totally backwards for you guys. Sorry about that. But this book is about topical application for flower essences. And so when we look at pine, and the best way for me to explain this is if you have pain in your body and you can pinpoint it to like right here, all we got to do is look and reference this book, for example, right there. So that is one of the areas for pine. So if you look, that is your left side of your face. So this side, right here. And it's partially right where the half of the ear is, and like this area, so right there, and then also the lower jaw area right there, so that area. So if you have a tendency to have left maybe jaw pain right here or just in this area, there might be a little bit of guilt that you are feeling, right? Also, another area for pine is the right arm, this area, so where the shoulder like kind of ends, I guess. It's like right here, the arm. Only this area, so right here. Yeah, very good. I'm just gonna go through all the points with you here in a second. Then we got pine. Can I use the back of your head, please? Thank you. So it's literally from here, like all of this area to right where the ears end. So if you have any pain right here, could be a little bit of guilt. Thank you, kind model. Then we have your solar plexus area, so pretty much like right here where the ribs create a triangle. So think, think, right? Think, think. And there are a couple other points, but those are the primary big points. So if you're having any issues here, here, back of the head, and your solar plexus, there may be some guilt that is trying to come out, right? So let's go ahead and, are you okay?
There's a cool hummingbird.
Oh, I was like, did he see
Chilling
a squirrel? You're like, squirrel.
Spider. That's a spider reaction. That's like
all right.
karate chop any of those spiders that come my way.
Spiders are such beautiful creatures. They love you. All right, so are you going to tap on Burger King?
Yeah, I'll tap on Burger King.
You don't have to if you
Bye,
don't want
Burger
to.
King. That and the cheese.
Okay, let's actually start by massaging underneath our collarbone. Okay? Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And if you're at home rewatching this or participating with us, be as loud as you can be, because your vibration from your mouth when you're sighing helps to shake all that blocked energy up so you can release it quicker. Okay, I want you to tune in. You can close your eyes or you can keep them open. And I want you to tune into any guilt that you're feeling right now. Tune into how that feels, how that's affecting your life. Maybe it's draining your energy. Okay? I'm tapping the center of your chest, repeating after me. And if the words don't exactly fit how you're feeling, go ahead and just tweak them to your specifications. Ready? Even though I feel guilty,
Even though I feel guilty,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Even though I feel guilty,
Even though I feel guilty,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Tapping the front of your ribs. This guilt that I feel.
This guilt that I feel.
This...
About eating. Oh. About eating Whoppers.
Okay, there we go. This guilt that I feel.
About eating Whoppers occasionally.
Okay, but you have to repeat after me, honey.
Oh, okay.
This guilt that I feel.
This guilt that I feel.
And then just state where the guilt's coming from.
From eating Whoppers occasionally.
Okay. Makes me feel even guiltier.
Makes me feel even guiltier.
Okay, tapping the sides of your body. I feel guilty.
I feel guilty.
I feel guilty about this.
I feel guilty about this.
This issue of...
This issue of...
And then name what you did that's making you feel guilty.
Eating those cheese Whoppers. And French fries.
Makes me feel really guilty.
Makes me feel really guilty.
Okay, tapping the side of your hand. This guilt makes me wish.
This guilt makes me wish.
What does it make you wish?
They had a really good grass-fed, like, organic burger at Burger King.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. This guilt makes me think.
This guilt makes me think.
And what does it make you think about yourself?
Kind of yucky.
Okay, tapping the side of your finger. I feel guilty.
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 Okay. Really allow yourself to feel that guilt now. Give yourself permission to feel it. So I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to feel this guilt now.
To feel this guilt now.
It could be possible.
It could be possible.
That if I allow myself to feel it.
That if I allow myself to feel it.
Even for just 2 minutes.
Even if just for 2 minutes.
Then I can start to release and let it go.
Then I can start to release and let it go.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Good. Tapping your index finger. Even though I feel guilty.
Even though I feel guilty.
It could be possible.
It could be possible.
That I'm still a good person.
That I'm still a good person.
Even though I feel guilty.
Even though I feel guilty.
It could be possible.
It could be possible.
That I'm still worthy of love.
That I'm still worthy of love.
Very good. Tapping your middle finger. And I still feel guilty though.
I still feel guilty though.
Because of?
Because of those darn Whoppers.
Okay, and I want you to just take a moment and I want you to either say in your mind or out loud, what was the story of what happened in regards to making you feel guilty? So what specific situation or story is behind your guilt? Tapping the other side of your ring finger. Very good. All of that, repeat after me.
All of that
made me feel guilty.
Made me feel guilty.
After that happened,
I
started to feel guilty.
I started to feel guilty.
I started to think, and what did you start to think?
I started to think.
I started to think, and what did you start to think?
I started to think I was kind of like greasy.
I started to think.
Started to think.
And what did you start to think?
Like greasy coming out of my pores.
Okay. And that made me feel worse.
And that made me feel worse.
Okay. Tapping your pinky back to normal. This guilt is making me feel worse.
This guilt is making me feel worse.
But I really don't know how to let this go.
But I really don't know how to let this go.
And part of me wants to keep it.
And part of me wants to keep it.
Because I feel like it's benefiting me.
Because I feel like it's benefiting me.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Okay, tapping the side of your hand. I feel that keeping this guilt
is
benefiting me by.
And how
do you think it's benefiting you?
Going out every now and then and getting disgusting fast food.
I feel like keeping this guilt
I feel like keeping this guilt
is benefiting me by
giving me an excuse to go every now and then get some nasty fast food.
tapping the top of your head. But I still feel guilty,
But I still feel guilty,
and I still think it benefits me.
and I still think it benefits me.
So what do I do?
So what do I do?
Do I continue to feel guilty,
Do I continue to feel guilty,
or can I let this go now?
or can I let this go now?
It could be possible I'm still a good person.
It could be possible that I'm still a good person.
It could be possible that even though that happened,
It could be possible that even though that happened,
I'm still a good person.
still a good person.
Take a deep breath in, side out. Tapping your third eye or above your eyebrows. It could be possible that I'm not to blame.
It could be possible that I'm not to blame.
When I think about the situation,
When I think about the situation,
it makes me feel guilty,
it makes me feel guilty,
and it also makes me feel.
and it also makes me feel
And what else does it
gross.
make you feel?
Kind of gross physically.
Tapping your temples. It could be possible
Could be possible
that I'm still a good person.
that I'm still a good person.
I might be open to
I might be open to
forgiving myself.
forgiving myself.
Tapping your cheeks. I might be open to
I might be open to
forgiving myself
forgiving myself
for feeling guilty.
for feeling guilty.
Take a deep breath in, side out. Even though I feel guilty,
Even though I feel guilty,
I'm still a good person.
I'm still a good person,
And I'm worthy of love.
and I'm worthy of love.
It could be possible,
Could be possible
tapping underneath your nose, that if I forgive myself,
that if I forgive myself,
I can move on with my life.
I can move on with my life.
Take a deep breath in, side out. Tapping underneath your lips. It could be possible
It could be possible
that if I forgive myself,
that if I forgive myself,
I can move on with my life.
I can move on with my life,
And I can get my life force back.
and I can get my life force back.
Okay, tapping the center of your chest. Are you ready to release the guilt now?
Me, I am.
Everyone else out there, are you guys ready?
Oh,
All right, let's release this guilt. It's been holding us back in our lives. It's keeping us in a prison. We can free ourselves. We have the keys, right? All right. I'm ready to release this guilt now. Repeat after me.
I'm ready to release this guilt now.
I'm
I
ready
just saw a thumbs up. I'm like,
Yeah, that's when they give you a high five. I'm ready to release this guilt now.
I'm ready to release this guilt now.
It's been holding me back,
It's been holding me back,
and I want to free myself.
and I want to free myself.
Very good. Tapping in front of your ribs. I don't want to feel guilty anymore.
I don't want to feel guilty anymore.
It could be possible that there's no one to blame.
It could be possible that there's no one to blame,
I'm still a good person,
and I'm still a good person,
and I choose to release this guilt.
and I choose to release this guilt.
I choose to release this self-blame.
I choose to release this self-blame.
Tapping the side of your body. I don't want to feel guilty anymore.
I don't want to feel guilty anymore.
Take a deep breath in, side out. I forgive myself now.
I forgive myself now.
Tapping the side of your wrist. I forgive myself now.
I forgive myself now.
I forgive myself now.
I forgive myself now.
Tapping the side of your thumb. I release all the guilt
I release all the guilt
and the self-blaming
and the self-blaming
and the judgments on myself.
and the judgments of myself.
Could be possible
It could be possible
that I was just being really hard on myself.
I was just being really hard on myself.
And that maybe
And that maybe
eating a Whopper once in a while
eating a Whopper once in a very blue moon
and being happy about it
and being happy about it
could be good for me.
could be good for me.
That one was for him. It could be possible
It could be possible
That there's no one to blame.
That there's no one to blame.
Tapping your index finger. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Tapping your middle finger. I'm still a good person.
I'm still a good person.
Even though this had happened.
Even though this had happened.
I can move on with my life.
I can move on with my life.
Tapping underneath your ring finger. I'm a good person.
I'm a good person.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
Above all,
I
forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I'm the one holding myself in guilt.
I'm the one holding myself in guilt.
I'm tapping your pinky. I'm the one that can let myself be free.
I'm the one that can let myself be free.
I can choose to hold on to the guilt.
I can choose to hold on to the guilt.
Or I can choose to have emotional freedom.
Or I can choose to have emotional freedom.
I choose.
I choose.
What do you choose?
Emotional freedom.
Tapping your side of your hand. I choose to be free from this.
I choose to be free.
I am free from this.
I am free from this.
Tapping the top of your head. I am free from guilt.
I am free from guilt.
I released all this guilt.
I released all this guilt.
Tapping your third eye.
I release.
I forgive myself for all this.
I forgive myself for all this.
I forgive myself for being so hard on myself.
I forgive myself for being so hard on myself.
Tapping your temples. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself.
I forgive myself for being so hard on myself.
Tapping your cheeks. I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free from this guilt.
I'm free from this guilt.
Tapping underneath your nose. I don't have to feel guilty if I don't want to.
I don't have to feel guilty if I don't want to.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. I don't have to feel guilty if I don't want to.
I don't have to feel guilty if I don't want to.
It's my choice.
It's my choice.
Tapping underneath your lips. It's my choice.
It's my choice.
And I choose to be
And I choose to be
free.
free.
I choose to be
I choose to be
happy.
happy.
I choose to be.
I choose to be
And what would you choose to be?
splendid.
Tapping the center of your chest. I can choose to feel however I want to feel.
I can choose to feel however I want to feel.
Okay, take a deep breath in. Very good. We're just going to end it there. How did that feel? Give yourself a moment to like really take it all in. I am sweating. It's 110 here in Temecula. I think I have boob sweat and armpit sweat and back sweat going on.
Is that Shanaz that came in here?
Yeah, there's a couple of people. Shanaz, there's Zoe, and the screen's too short to see the rest. But if you're here, say hi. So we just did a mini tap on guilt. We took the flower essence pine, and I'm gonna just go ahead and finish it off with 4 more drops after your tapping session. So I want to do 4 drops, and this is my home kit. Wow, beautiful! I love the flowers. I put this back. So if you're at home and you have your flower essence, you can take 4 drops before and 4 drops after. If you don't have it, the tapping session will work great even without the flower essence. I just love pairing the 2 modalities because I've seen magic happen with them both. So, whew, how do you feel about the tapping session? How do you feel afterwards?
Good. Yeah, it felt good.
It's interesting. You're tapping on whoppers.
This time.
Yeah, and so he just burped, so I want to mention something about that.
It's normal. It's completely normal.
Normal. So it's called off-gassing. When you're doing a tapping, there's a thing called off-gassing, which means you might either burp, fart, cough, cry, fall asleep. That's a really big one. Yeah, you might even shake a little bit. When I was tapping on fears, I would tremble. So all those things are normal. If you feel those off-gassing symptoms, go ahead and just breathe. Breathe. Take more deep breaths, slow deep breaths, and you'll find that they will move quicker. Crying is a big one, yes. Crying is a great way to release. So welcome all those off-gassing symptoms, I guess you can call them. So yeah, he's a burper. I'm a crier.
I prefer to release with the burp.
Yeah, I tremble a lot. I shake, and I'm sweating. Is sweating an off-gassing?
Get it in here and just let it go. It's the best way.
Ladies and gentlemen, my husband.
Cubano leche.
Cubano leche.
Out.
Are you leaving?
No.
Okay. So that was...
Coming for you, Canelo.
Oh, brother. So that was our live chat today. If you have any comments, questions, anything, please feel free to write it below. And make sure you like my Facebook page so that you can come every week with us here on Facebook Live, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next week, I don't really know what we're going to do next week. I might do fears. Might. What do you think we should do?
Fears? Yeah, that's a good one.
Tapping on fears.
And maybe we'll have some other guests if anyone wants to roll up on here.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a...
Go watch Phenomenon. Go watch it. Go watch it and experience it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Experience it the right way.
As an adult, it's a good movie. As a child,
As anyone that just doesn't get that type of stuff, you probably don't like it. Now I want to go rewatch Powder.
What's Powder?
The one with the kid that's got the little... He's like super pale, and Jeff Goldblum's in it, always doing his little things. Because you know how Jeff Goldblum, when he like acts, and he's like always, yes, yes, yes. He always does. Go watch Jeff Goldblum, and he's always... I don't even think you can see his face when he acts. He's always like this when he's doing his scenes. Like, yeah, But go watch it. Watch Powder, and watch Phenomenon, and like just process it, you know, and then come back to me. And tell me
Doctor
what you think.
Strange, that was a big one too. That one opened people's minds.
That was Marvel. That was really cool. But Powder and Phenomenon are like, I feel like they're like
Powder. Why? I don't feel like I've ever even heard.
I'm just thinking of the scene in Powder where the hunter shoots the animal, and then he's a sport hunter, and then Powder goes over there, and he touches the animal and touches the guy, so that the guy can feel the animal's pain.
Oh.
So he like transfers the energy.
Okay, that sounds pretty awesome. I think I want to go watch it now.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And the director of that is the director of. This has nothing to do with our show here, but of Jeepers Creepers.
My husband is an actor and a writer, and he knows a lot about the movie industry. So, hence why we all go back to the movie.
The movie actor over here.
And a fan of Ace Ventura. What's his name? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
The old Jim Carrey.
I want to talk to Jim Carrey now because he's an enlightened cat. I think we could have a real good conversation.
He is actually very enlightened now.
Yeah.
Did you see his artwork? He has a movie. We should watch it. It's on his huge painting that he did for the college, I think.
Oh, he's got a good speech for Maharishi, right? The Maharishi College. Remember he did that big inspiration. It's the one that you play all the time where he's like, my dad, like don't beat. It was a really.
He's very enlightened.
A very like positive speech.
Yeah.
Essentially, like you can fail. You can fail at what you don't like or what you're not good at. So might as well try to do what you love, right?
Wait,
Remember what it was?
I think it was a little bit different than that.
But that was like along the lines. Remember, it was basically you can fail or you can succeed at something. Was it that?
I think we'll have to come back.
We're going to come back on this because it's a really good quote. It's like you can succeed at what you don't like, so might as well try to.
Well, next week, Wednesday, 5 o'clock, tune in, and we will definitely have the quote.
A lot of things in the old guy's head here. I got to really think on that. It's got to marinate in the old brain.
Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out my website, flowernicole.com, where lots of new goodies are coming, lots of new programs to work one-on-one with me and to work even in a group session with me. Those will be launching next week. So if you go to our website, go ahead and input your email address in our newsletter so you can be notified first of all the awesomeness coming. You like that? You like the whole hand thing?
That's bringing in your abundance and your everything.
Yes.
That's just everything.
The tribe.
Bringing everything.
And bringing it all in. All right.
Everyone's welcome. Everyone come.
We should have like an ending quote like Walter Cronkite. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's Bruce Nolan from Bruce Almighty. Again with the Jim Carrey. She's like on Jim Carrey the whole time.
We've been together for 9 years. Come on. Like it's addictive.
Literally in the Jim Carrey thing in 3rd grade, I was Jim Carrey. I have people that can attest to this. I was Jim Carrey for an entire summer. At least I thought I was. In fact, I was walking around telling people my name was Jim Carrey.
Okay, but what's the ending quote here? We should come up with a really cool ending quote for the show.
Yeah, we should.
What is Walter Cronkite's then?
I don't know.
And that's the way it is? I think it is.